What do you work on the first day of practice? What are you guys working on?
We're working on a lot of different things. We're working on both sides of the ball. So we were talking about our primary, our secondary break options, and then put in a little bit of a half-court set, which we run a lot. A lot of ball screening action, and then we spend time on the opposite side of the ball, defending, and really working on concepts, a lot of shell. Yeah, so it's been a combination of a lot of different things. We've had to slow it down a little bit because our freshmen and Aberdeen being new to the system, so a little bit slower pace than usual, but a lot of teaching today and a lot of concepts. So in order to do that and be effective, you gotta slow down for your guys.
How quickly do you want to get back to that pace? How
quick? I think it'll take us hopefully about this week to not get everything in, but get a lot of things in, and then I think by next week we should be able to get back to playing fast and doing some things. But we also want to make sure we still we're a month out from really playing, and that we're emphasizing the right things, especially with our being great screeners and reading screens and learning how to come off screens. And so we don't want to, just because I want to play fast, we don't want to bypass any of those important steps that would be breakdown in what we're trying to do. So if we have to slow it down, we'll slow it down until our guys look comfortable and feel comfortable. But I would anticipate with the veteran group that we have, our freshmen have caught on fairly quick. But we'll be able to get back to the tempo we like practicing at here pretty soon.
How different is practice now? I mean, you have 14 players out there. What is the difference behind it?
Well, it's going to be great. We got a great men's guys practice squad, but I just think that the competition now that we have when we go red versus white, will be really important to the way we progress and the way we grow as a team. There's nothing better than competition for spots, for minutes, and so that's what you see with that. What I like about it is we have different pieces, all with different skill sets that can do different things. We gotta get our rear ends back in the gym now and get some shots up, because we didn't hit enough shots today from the outside for me. So we're going to have to really make sure that we're doing a lot more shooting as we go to it.
After such a successful season last year, obviously you want to improve upon that. How do you frame this for your team so that they're not getting complacent, they're reaching?
Well, the quote of the day was, it doesn't matter what's happened in the past, it only matters what we choose to do from here. That's really what this team's about. We've put last year behind us. We did that this summer, and now that we have new pieces, you got Aberdeen and Rhea and Darby and Bree. That they don't know anything. They know that we had success, but they don't know anything about how hard it is to the work that's behind it. And so that's what you have a veteran group for. That's why your leadership, you lean on the kids like Alexis Gassian and Carly and Tyra and Cahill to kind of lead the way for those young kids. But yeah, last year's behind us. We're moving on. We're still in a great league, and we really respect and know that it's a whole new season for us.
Coach, I'm sorry if you already asked this.
Okay,
what is, I guess, last year you guys were working a little bit of depth, not really much at all, but what is having a full?
Well, like I said to John, it's just, it gives us, what I love about it is the competition that we have in practice. Even though we have our guy squad, as you guys watched today, but when we don't have them, I think it really allows our guys to have to compete against each other. And there's only 200 minutes, they all want to start and they all want to play a bunch of minutes. And so that's kind of how you figure out that, again, at the end of the day, the results matter. And you find out who you're going to be able to count on, and who's going to be sound defensively, and who's going to have the ability to score the ball as well. So, but it's great to have a depth. This is the first time since we've been here that we've had anything. And the other thing that I think is exciting about it is that the depth that we have, they have different skill sets. You get to see that a little bit in terms of what they're capable of doing. But with our skill development, how much time we spend with our kids, right now we're just the surface of what some of these kids as they grow and they're in a collegiate practice, they're going to be able to do as we continue.
And kind of with that, you're going to probably have a new option for the ball handler, just
right.
In space, creating the offense, kind of like that. Just how much is that?
Well, I think it's going to be exciting for a kid like Tyra Buss, who has the ball in her hand last year. She had the ball in her hand quite a bit, but she's going to have some relief. Because now you have Tia, you have Rhea, Amber Dean. All those kids can get it, they can go, and I think what's going to do for Tyra is going to give her an opportunity to come off of some of those ball screens that we set in the past for a kid like Lex, and we ran Lex off to death sometimes off some of those wing ball screens. So it does. It's going to give, like I said, just the variety. Tia Albert's a perfect example of a kid that can just break you down without being kind of a ball screen. We didn't have that a year ago. So lots to look forward to, especially with this group. They're eager, they're hungry. I thought they had great energy today. I'll be eager to get back here tomorrow and go back to work.
How much of a meshing do you have to do with your assistants, having 2 new assistants in the court, learning that as you go?
Well, I coach them as much as I coached our kids today in terms of areas, specific areas. So Coach Box and JB Banks are going to be really overseeing us defensively, so they need to be on the end where all the defense is happening. Coach Rhett and I are on the other end, trying to sort out what we do from an offensive, on the offensive end. So, it's just getting to know each other, movement, placement, where we need to be, what we need to be focused on. But certainly, I need to do a better job of making sure that they're where they need to be, and we'll get that all sorted out. That's what your staff meetings are for. But they've been great. Their energy and we've really been working hard recruiting, and so once again, I've hit it out of the park with a great staff.
How has the coach role, I guess, changed since being Big Ten Coach of the Year?
Well, I think we already had, we got big news yesterday, so that was exciting. But we already had 3 kids that we had solidified pretty much a year ago. So except for 2 kids, I guess, that had committed to us a year ago. So the other 2 additions that we just had, we just got a whole lot more athletic. But we're still not finished, and we still got a couple kids out there that we've recruited that we'll continue to recruit throughout the season. But right now, we're excited about the work we've done and the kids we've had on campus. When you lose 5 seniors, you got to make sure that the kids you're bringing in are going to be able to have an impact immediately, and we feel like we've been able to accomplish that.
So can you sense I'm looking at Indiana a little differently?
Well, I hope so. Success, that helps. It does. And when you can talk about getting to the tournament, it's one thing to be able to say this is where we want to be. It's another thing to say we've been there, and now we just want to keep advancing. So that's a nice place to be for our staff.
You mentioned kind of moving on from last year, putting it in the past a little bit. Mm-hmm. How much of that is trying to move on to bigger and better things this year and kind of setting higher expectations?
Well, sure. You always, you set your expectations higher. And the good thing I have with this group is that, they were sorely disappointed after last season's defeat at Notre Dame against Notre Dame. And, there's no question that has, they've let it go, but it's also they've used that for motivation too. Getting to the tournament is extremely hard. And they know that, but now it's about advancing, for this group, and especially with their senior group, there's a legacy here that they want to leave, and when you talk to them, they want to. Last year was special, but we have an opportunity to continue to ride the wave that in terms of what happened last year, but also take that next step.
What does the leadership dynamic look like on this team with implementing the newer players?
Well, that's one of the things that we found today was just, I heard different voices, whether it was Gassian or Carly or Cahill. That's a veteran. They've been around us. Lex for 3 years, obviously Tyra and B for 2 years now, and so they kind of know how we do things. They know the system. They know the pace, the tempo that we want to practice at, so that's helpful. But the nice thing about having them here in the summer is that we've already established that. We sort of know the expectations. One of the things with young kids you'll find is that there's a lot of trepidation for this first practice, and I think our veterans have been able to put their minds at ease and just say you got to play through your mistakes and keep your confidence. And so those are the things that you look for those veterans to do, because we're out here coaching, but it's another thing when your peers are telling you, they're coaching you up, but they're also giving you that pat on the back saying, next shot's going to go in, or this is the movement, this is what we're looking for in this particular action. So we found that today, so I'm excited. We didn't have that a couple years ago.
You like Rhea, she's still here shooting. I mean,
yes.
What have you seen from her in first practice?
She's probably the most athletic kid we have on our team. That's what I've seen from her. I mean, and she has a very quiet confidence about her. Talk about a kid that can play through mistakes. She is by far ahead of the game in terms of letting things go and moving on. But she's extremely competitive, coachable, extremely athletic, and she does that. She's going to stay after, and she's going to get her shot up and shots up. And but all of them actually. Bree Wickware has been the same way as far as getting in the gym and spending extra time in here. Amber Dean is, and I've said this before, is a gym rat as well. So we have a few of those that'll either stay after or come back and spend time in this place.
Have you mastered the whole Rhea, Tia, Tyra?
No, just because I just called Amber something else, but I wrong the wrong name. Yeah, no, Rhea, Tia. Yeah, no, not quite yet. So they know me well enough to know, though, that if I'm yelling in their direction, I'm probably talking to them. So,
Are we good? We'll do one more question. Good?
Thank